All right, she's all over the place. I'm in Detroit right now. I have filmmakers on for you. They're the co-creators of Weedhacker Massacre. Woohoo! How are you, Ray and Alan? How are you doing?
I'm having the time of my life. Thank you.
Doing great. Thanks for
Doing
having
great.
us, Katie.
Okay, so you're both in Austin right now.
Right.
And I just got intel. It's a massive day because tonight you're having a what is it? What's happening tonight?
It's the release party, pre-release, because the movie's released tomorrow. But we're getting the cast, crew, supporters, everybody together, and they're so excited they keep calling Alan every second. Like, what do I do next?
This is fantastic. If I was in Austin, I would just I would want to just zap myself there. So I would be there to celebrate with y'all.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you.
We would love it. We would love it.
Oh my God, how cool. So, okay, the next one, think of me, okay? So this is gonna be for Halloween. It's on the streaming services, it's on Prime, it's on Tubi. Wow, congratulations. Let's talk about why you decided to co-create this project.
Well, Alan and I have known each other for about 5 years, and of course, he's a horror icon, having starred in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original back in 1974. And so we always talk about movies and everything. And Alan, if you kind of saw the movie, which I'm sure you have, a lot of fans have, uh, back when he was 30 years old, had quite the head of hair. It was a fro, and he thinks that Disco Stew in The Simpsons was probably modeled after that, right?
Totally.
But we just started clowning around saying, well, I guess that hair was so thick. Could anything get through it? And that started launching the idea that that head of hair made him invulnerable, which led to us doing some jokes. And Alan had wanted to do a comedy, making his own film. And I just said, yeah, let me see if I can write something up. And it just kind of progressed. And here we are 2 years later, and the movie's coming out. We just have to keep pinching ourselves. We can't believe it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. And to actually have an icon on the show. I mean, this is fantastic. And speaking of hair, you just gave me some ideas. I mean, the person tuning in, go over to the video on YouTube if you're not already and check out the video and check out my hair. I mean, in
Wow.
2025, I mean, there is so much hair back here. I
That's a
mean, what
lot.
if we did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what if we did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with females and they all had big hair? Come on, guys, let's do it.
We're going to write it right now.
It's coming up.
That could be next. That could be next. Like all females, like prom queen from different cities. They come together for Halloween. And Alan, of course, you'd be in it, obviously, right?
He has to be. He has to be.
Okay, so Halloween season's coming up, and I watched the film. Thank you so much. I got the private screener, so I was able to see it already. Yeah, it's quite comical. And so definitely towards, I don't want to give anything away, but was that a pun on there's going to be a part two, or is there really going to be a part two, or it's open to maybe a part two, like another one?
I think it's open. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, if this is a hit, then we'll have to do a sequel.
When
And
it's a hit.
that would be your chance to star in the sequel. Exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah. With the big hair theory, that could lead
Exactly.
us to the one with focused on females. I mean, seriously, you put anything with a female on it and it just rises to the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we've written a few notes about a sequel. Of course, that was something that we just thought was funny at the end of the movie. But yeah, we've pretty much got some scenes mapped up, and we kind of crack ourselves up as to what could happen.
yeah, I'm interested to see because it was so unexpected when I was watching it. The twists and turns and things that happen. It was just like, okay, that's just like didn't expect that to happen, especially so earlier on. It wasn't even like a setup. It was just like there you go. It's like you gave it to him right away. Which is unexpected, which is shock value, which is exactly what you want to do in comedy and in society of 2025 nowadays. Because we don't want to expect what we already know. So I have a question. What did you shoot it on?
We used an Ari Mini. So we put a little more money into the camera, and the quality was amazing. I shot movies before with Black Magic, and don't get me wrong, they're great cameras. But yeah, we decided to dip into Alan's lifetime savings, all his revenue he got from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we got a really great camera, and I was really impressed with its performance.
Yeah, I love the Ari. Oh, the Ari, the lights and everything are fantastic. I grew up modeling, so I worked with Ari lights often,
Yeah.
especially being on sets, commercial sets. So wonderful. And you shot it all where?
In the Austin area, we went to a couple towns outside. Bastrop is one,
Buda.
Buda, and Bastrop is kind of in its own way trying to be like the film center of the South. They're building a lot of studio space out there, and a lot of the bigger names are coming out here this way. We did actually work the Ari camera into a gag in the movie, and it was kind of like don't break the Ari, use the Sony, but sorry Sony.
Yeah. All good. All good. So maybe we can reach out to them next time and have them be the official sponsors. That'd be super cool too.
Love
Who
it.
knows? Yeah, yeah. So how did you find your cast?
A lot of them have been in previous movies I'd done. Alan was in my previous movie as well, but we really did a great job of recruiting people, and I think that's just kind of the process I like to do is bring in new people and give them a smaller part and just see how they do with it. I think that's the thing we always want to do is help up and coming actors, and we have a lot of them in this film, and we were just blown away with their performances. And we do have people that aren't actors. Alan was one of those in Chainsaw, right?
Yeah, and if you look at some of the reviews of me in some of those movies and Chainsaw, you'll realize, yeah, this one person referred to me as this 30-year-old disco stew looking dude, So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. I mean, I just want to hear from Alan a bit because I feel like I'm like talking a lot. I just want to listen. Like just tell us some stories. Jeez. I mean, just something, some words of wisdom in life and or about film from 1974 till now. So for the fellow filmmaker, entrepreneur tuning in.
Sure.
Well, I mean, in terms of Chainsaw, I happened to meet Toby in a social setting some years ago, and his first movie was a movie called Eggshells, and it was more like a cinema verite, meaning there's no script or whatnot. And I was doing social work at the time, and a young couple by the name of David and Amy were volunteers with my program, and it was ostensibly about this couple, but it really was a psychedelic kind of hippy dippy type of movie, and they wanted to do some scenes or a scene with me, and they liked how that came across, and they kept adding more scenes for me to be in. And then it comes out, nobody saw that movie, and then like 4 years go by, and then I get a call, and they said we wrote this movie. I think the working title was Head
Head
Cheese
cheese, yeah.
or Leatherface, and they wanted me to play this character, kind of a wiseacre, joking kind of guy. And so that's how it was, because I didn't study acting, didn't know anything about it, but what can you say? I mean, I'm a kid from the Bronx, ending up in arguably the scariest movie of all time. So only in America.
And where were you? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Bronx.
You grew up in
Yeah,
the Bronx.
but you took a
Okay.
train down here,
Yeah, I
right?
took the wrong train. I usually took the D train to get to City College. I got on the F train, and there I
Went all the
was.
way to Texas.
Yeah. And people say, "Well, why did you come to Texas?" I said, "Well, I always wanted to see a foreign country," and but it turned out that Austin was the greatest place, and to end up from the Bronx into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's one of those great stories.
But you had a real different experience with Weedhacker versus Chainsaw
Oh
Massacre
yeah,
on set.
I mean, Chainsaw was brutal. I had a great time because they worked. I was doing a camp for kids with mental challenges and whatnot, so they worked around my schedule. But it was like the middle of July. It was so hot. The van had no AC. The windows were up. Toby was in the van with a cigar, like a la Eric von Stroheim, and it was brutal. But it comes across. It's almost like a documentary when you watch Chainsaw.
Wow, wow. This is fantastic, and it has such a big following. Um, one second, I just want to show you
The other
something.
thing, Alan, I kind of always remember because my sense of smell activates when you tell these stories. But the smell
Oh,
was
oh yeah,
horrendous, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, you had rotting bones, you had rotting meat, and you had Leatherface wore that costume for like 2 months. As I said, all the Febreze in Austin couldn't erase that smell, from what was going on. So yeah, it was pretty brutal, and people were throwing up. I mean, uh, staff was throwing up, constantly. The last day of shooting, I think, was like 24 to 36 hours. You can't do that nowadays. You just can't do it.
Wow. And was that that was like Wild Wild West back then, right?
Beyond the Wild Wild West. Yeah.
Beyond. And then everything was shot in Texas?
Yeah. And a lot of it was, I think, also in Bastrop and in Round Rock, and the house that originally where everybody gets killed or whatnot. They moved that house to Kingsland, and it's now renamed Hooper's. And I'll be there from the 24th to the 26th with a kind of a mini reunion with the rest of the cast that are still alive, and that we're not drooling or in diapers. So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to go there. I had a wild thought, but I'm not going to go there.
Could be new sponsors for you too.
Yeah, that's right. Depends,
So
yeah.
Those slim drinks.
Oh yeah,
those
slim ones. Yeah,
those slim drink. My grandfather used to drink those slim drinks. They came in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. And
Katie, I'm so old that Lincoln celebrated my birthday at this time.
Oh, I love him. What a great man. How he's so sweet for doing that. That's so sweet. So do you know Jeffrey Allard by chance?
I don't know Jeffrey. I might have, but what's Jeffrey do?
So he bought the franchise. He read a book. He was on my podcast. We're friends. But he bought the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise and then produced one of the films. So I would have to look this.
Yeah, I was wondering which one it might have been, because I think currently, is it still kind of up for bid right now?
I think so. I mean, I haven't heard anything that it's been bought at this point. There's a lot of rumors, but I don't know.
Yeah, we had lunch with David Blue Garcia, who did the last Chainsaw version on Netflix.
That was on Netflix.
Great guy.
Let me just ask him really quick. Let's just call him.
This
is live. This is happening right now.
She's making a real call.
Wow.
This is cool.
Jeffrey, how are you?
Who Wants to Be Alone?
Yeah.
Phone a friend.
My new friends, I'm on a podcast right now, and they have a new Weedhacker Massacre that's actually premiering tonight in Austin. Are you in Austin, Texas by chance? I know. If I'm in Detroit, or else I would invite myself. I'm like, I would be zapping there going, and I would bring you along with me. So Ray and Alan, they co-created the Weedhacker Massacre that's on Amazon, Tubi, starting on the 17th and all the platforms. And actually, Alan was in the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. I have a living legend on my podcast right now, and via telephone, you're on it. And so I told them about you and how you bought the franchise, and they were asking which number it was. So I wanted just to ask you what number it was. Hold on, I'm going to put you on speaker 1 second. Okay. Jeffrey, meet Ray and Alan. Alan, meet Jeffrey.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Same.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
So because they're in my ears. Oopsies. So they said hi, nice to meet you. So which years for your
I produced the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake in 2003, and then the prequel Texas Chainsaw the Beginning 2006.
Oh, that's great.
Ray said that's great. He's the writer and creator.
He was in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Alan was in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974.
He was Jerry the van driver.
Jerry the van driver.
There you go.
And I let them know I became good friends with Toby Hooper before his pass, and because of my acquisition of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it was just such a great experience working with him and acquiring, the right to do 2 pictures, and that got me into the business.
Aw, that's so sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to call you back. Thank you for your time, and I'll send you this episode when it's live. Okay? Jeffrey?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye. Great. I'll
Well,
put his episode
yeah,
in the show notes too, because he talks about the franchise of
no, that's
Texas Chainsaw
great.
Massacre.
That's really good to know somebody from that period of the franchise. That's real interesting.
I'm called Katie the Connector, KC International. Yeah,
There you go.
world global citizen over here. All about the people, humanity, diversity, connecting the people with the people. So when this project came across my desk, I'm like, yes, I'll cover it. This is interesting to me. So, yay, here we are.
Yeah.
Great. So what would you like the fans tuning in to know about the Weedhacker Massacre?
You want to go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we had a lot of fun, and I think that shows up in the movie. Everybody on set had a great time, and it really kind of became like a family. They didn't want to leave. We had to kind of tell them, all right, movie's over. We're not writing more checks. You got to go. But we've had several get-togethers, including the one we're going to have tonight. And I think that follows through in the film. It shows in the film how much fun they're having doing these goofy scenes, and makes you kind of laugh even through some of the horror scenes. They're kind of filmed in kind of a comical way. But I think this is the main thing. We see it as a great Halloween to Christmas. Like, you want to see a comedy, dial it up, and you'll have a great time. Plus, you get to see a living legend do his first stunt work.
And actually, Katie, the tagline is, once you stop laughing, you'll start screaming.
That's
And
right.
I mean,
We
it's
need
called
that
the
scream.
Weedhacker Massacre. So if you want to, get some ganja, it's legal in most states now. I think it'd be one of those funny kind of movies, right?
Right. I'm shocked. Really, I'm shocked. We really, no, I'm kidding. I think when we originally wrote it, of course, we were looking at a different kind of killing instrument, and then Alan was the one that said, we really need to kind of put some things in there like that, because you had just had a really good tour with Grandpa from the original Chainsaw Massacre, and you felt like,
Well, yeah. I mean, we were in London, we were in Tokyo, and we were like the Cheech and Chong of horror there. And what I found out, that as I told our stories, even in Japanese, people got they laughed at the right time. So funny is funny no matter where you are. But the thing about Weedhacker is that there's so much fun from the names of the characters. My characters is Sheriff Dancing Shoes, and if you look at Ray's shirt,
this
he
is
just
brand new.
showed me brand new. I just saw this today. It's hilarious.
But
Dancing
Very
Shoes
cool.
Sheriff.
But that comes from a childhood nickname, right?
Yeah, well, it's from a friend that I knew here at UT when I was going to graduate school. He had trouble pronouncing Danziger, so he would say, "Here comes Alan Dancing Shoes." So it's an homage to my late friend Ralph, who passed away several years ago.
That's so sweet, so sweet. And maybe speak on the moment of homage and what that means to you, through your legacy so far, Alan.
Well, I think, in some ways that even Weedhacker Massacre is so much, is an homage to those type of movies. And Ray can go on more about making a bad sequel.
Yeah, well, we love those movies. Gotta love the one he's in. It's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, horror film of all time. And about that time, we really were real lucky to get a number of these phenomenally classic movies, especially in the horror genre. And we love them. And we also know how hard it is to make a movie, whether you're in Hollywood or an independent. Besides the money, making the story work right, making the characters lovable or not lovable, that's key too. But we really wanted to just kind of express and show how much we love those kind of efforts and everything like that, and we do it all in good fun.
Yeah.
And Katie, I was going to say also, as a kid growing up, I used to read the columns, New York Post, and there was a a movie reviewer by the name of Archer Winston, and he used to give stars out to different movies. When it came to Chainsaw, not only did he not give out stars, he said it owed stars.
Oh,
And he's gone. Quentin Tarantino has said this is a perfect movie. Patton Oswalt raves about it. So it just, you never know, how things are going to, transpire. And now this movie is just getting the kind of status that it never got before. And besides being a cult classic, it truly is a legendary movie.
Yeah, and to add on to every genius thing y'all just said, when I was reviewing my notes, there's like a page and a half of all the awards this film has won. So let's talk about highlighting some of these awards at different film festivals.
sure. I think we started out at the Golden State Film Festival and had a wonderful time. And Alan's good friend Daniel Pearl met us there. Daniel is an amazing director of photography in the original Chainsaw Massacre, but he went on to become an award-winning video director. He did Michael Jackson's Billie Jean video.
Ed Sheeran.
Just the list goes on.
Unbelievable.
And on. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Mariah Carey. I mean, he's legendary.
So Daniel spent the day with us and he showed us around. We had a great time. He comes to the premiere and we made him talk about the shot in Chainsaw that's probably voted the greatest dolly shot in cinema history. And there's a scene in Chainsaw where Terry, the young girl's walking toward the house, and Daniel has rigged the dolly under the swing there. And she didn't like it back then because it was, her rear end was in the shot the whole time. Of course, as time's gone by, she's just loving it.
More of an appreciation of it.
But the dolly follows her, and what's so great about it is that as she walks toward the house, the house grows larger and larger in a very spooky sort of way. And it is really the greatest shot. When there's one of the actors got hired by...
Yeah. Oliver Stone hired Ed Neal, the Hitchhikers, just so we could find out how that shot was done. And that shot wasn't supposed to take place because the suits said, we don't have the money, for that. You can't do it. And Toby said, oh, yes, we are. We're doing it. And if you fire us, you fire us. But that shot's going. And now that's a classic shot. And everybody wants to know about that shot.
So we did a bunch of other ones. We went to New York and a few other things, won a bunch of awards. And I think the thing I like about it is we won for best comedy a lot of times. Yeah. So that was our purpose, really, because we're in a way we're not a pure horror. Well, we're not a pure horror film, and we're probably not going to be able to compete at some of these horror fests against all the slasher movies because that's kind of its own genre. But being kind of a mix, I thought we did pretty well with all the awards and laurels.
Also, Katie, I was going to say the music in the movie is also excellent, and the fellow that did responsible for the song the ballad of
Weedhacker Willie.
Weedhacker Willie is kind of based on my own story. In fact, he originally wrote the lyrics to the Ballad of Chainsaw Jerry, but changed it. It's even better for the Weedhacker Willie. And his name is Britton Buchanan, a very talented young guy. He was runner-up on The Voice, I think 6 years ago when he's only 18. And then he wrote the other song, and people love the music. They love the names of the character. And so I'm just so pleased of the reception that we've gotten so far. It's wonderful.
I love all of this. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm just taking it all in. And how did you meet the music composer? Was he brought to you? Did you go to him? How was the meet and greet in deciding who's going to be your music composer for the film?
It turns out I used to watch The Voice with friends of mine, and somehow he's a big horror buff, and he got in touch with me and asked if I would do a podcast with him to talk about Chainsaw. And he got the music that I had. He got my humor. We've become really good friends. And in fact, I'll see him next week when I'm flying to North Carolina to do a meet and greet at a local theater. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing Britton. And then when we were doing the movie, we asked him if he could write some of the music for the movie. He graciously said yes. And everybody loved the songs. I think some of those songs could be a top 40, if it comes to that.
Some great stuff.
Great stuff.
And Britton Flew Down is actually in the movie. And so we did kind of a little Animal House scene with him where he's playing the guitar, and
Gets smashed.
Sean Hates, who's the director of another horror movie called The Cannibal Comedian, plays the villain, and he hates Britton's playing so badly. He picks up the guitar, and it's a wonderful 4-bang smash of the guitar, pieces everywhere. It was great. Britton runs for his life.
Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. So people have to tune in to the Weedhacker Massacre to see what you're talking about. So I was just taking it all in. Where did you say you're meeting him next week?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina, wonderful. We'll tell the fellow podcaster I say hello. You'll have to show him this episode. I'm sure he'll
We
love to
will.
see it since we're sending him flowers. And for the fellow musician tuning in, they can see grassroots of how one can connect with filmmakers and legends in 2025. Technology is our friend. It's an amazing tool. Yeah, so the next thing I wonder is how many shoot dates did you have?
We had 22 extended. We got rained out a few times, but then we did a couple pickup dates after that. Still very reasonable for a film. I was the writer, of course, and as somebody that was on set, and I kind of helped do different things like direct and everything, I kept getting angrier and angrier at the writer, thinking like, why is this film so big? Why do we have 15 stunt people and over 50 extras? But it was a huge film, especially compared to Chainsaw, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then listen, y'all have spent like your time with me today, and it's a massive day for you. So we're gonna be rolling out here. If you want to, for the filmmaker tuning in or the actor who wants to pick up a camera and go, what was the budget for your project, this project?
Well, we started at about $150 No, but we had, of course, these things get out of hand. Geez, you got, I think the thing that got me the most was the catering bill. Was really big because we had so many people on set every day. But I think we were at a point here in Austin where things were getting a little more expensive with a little bit of inflation kicking in. But we're real happy we brought the film in for what we did.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations. I've self-produced in 2014 when I heard about the new media contract. I went through the SAG foundation place. I deferred everyone. I did web series, I did music videos, I shot shorts, and I just made sure there was water, snacks, and food. Like everyone got lunch and dinner. But yeah, and you just feed the people, and they're showing up. They'll show up and just be a part of something. So whether you have a budget or not, as long as you feed the people and you have the positive energy and the good intention, people want to show up because they want to be a part of a vision, and they want to be a part of a legacy and something that's impactful, and they want to have fun along the way. So there's, with all the stuff happening in the world, thank you for making the film that you did, and bringing some laughs to boot. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Katie. Thanks for having
Appreciate
us.
it. Great time. Thank you.
Yes. Lastly, is there any words of wisdom, or like a quote or an author or a book, inspiration, where someone who just wants to soak up some knowledge to get more equipped for their personal wisdom in life, or for a career path as an artist? Do you want to share maybe something that helped you along the way?
Sure. William Goldman, all-time famous screenwriter, wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and so many other greats, but he's famous for the quote, in Hollywood, nobody knows anything. And so people will tell you, this movie isn't going to work, or this is going to work, we're going to make $1 billion off it, but nobody knows until you go through the process and put in the hard work and really stay true to your craft if you can. It's hard work, and enjoy what you're doing. But in the end, it could really work out very well for you. And the learning, you're always learning something every day in this business. It's a wonderful process.
For me, it was anything written by Rodney Dangerfield, or my brother had a little book of jokes, and the title was "Dying is Easy, Comedy is Hard."
Hard, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Words
of wisdom. Did you say words of wisdom?
Yes, words to live by.
Oh, words to live by. Words of wisdom. Thank you,
go.
gentlemen. Alan, the legacy legend. Ray, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Everyone tuning in, look at the show notes before and see the Weedhacker Massacre streaming now. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Katie. Bye-bye.